Hey everybody, it's Chris with chrisbello.com, and this week my podcast is an interview with Leela Madan of Madan Law PLLC. She's a patent and trademark attorney in the Houston, Texas area, also a business owner and entrepreneur though, growing her own firm. And in this episode, we actually talk about a lot of interesting information, especially if you are creating ideas. If you've got a patent or an idea or an invention idea that you want to protect intellectually, there are some time limits on it. I remember in the episode she mentioned that once you have the idea, you only have 12 months to really protect it. Otherwise, at that point, it's very little protection that you're able to get for that idea. That's one of the things that we talked about. When you have an idea, run the numbers and see how many of this product would I need to sell to break even, and help that justify your costs of going through the whole process of getting a patent, because it is not cheap. It does cost quite a bit of money. I mean, and it also varies. We talked about that because I've got a prototype of an invention my friend and I made on my desk. This is a 3D printed model, and we paid about $10,000 to have a patent attorney draft that up, and I actually have the patent back here behind me. It comes in this little book. So here's my patent, and it's cool. I think a lot of people frame the first page of it because that's obviously the patent that you filed. So here's mine. And you can see it's got my friend's name and my name on there. And yeah, it's pretty neat. But to get to this point and to get all these pages that have all the terminology and the photos and then the claims. Look at the claims, is just wall to wall of text. You can see it on the camera. The claims are just pages and pages of straight up text. It reminds me of my business law book. And that's why I hired a patent attorney, because I don't know about that stuff, and it's very confusing. Like, let me just read you an excerpt from the patent and see if you can decipher what it means. So look at the way it's written. For a more complete understanding of the present disclosure and the advantages thereof, references is now made to the following descriptions to be taken in conjunction with the accompanying drawings describing specific embodiments of the disclosure, wherein Figure 1 is an assembled view of the embodiment of the present invention in the top perspective. Figure 2 is an assembled view of one embodiment of the present invention in the bottom perspective. In any case, I highly recommend you check out this week's interview. I will go ahead and link it up in the show notes if you want to listen to the podcast. That's another one where we just recorded the audio. We didn't get any video because the connection was a little bit poor. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to comment below, but also consider reaching out to Leela and her team. They do this stuff day in and day out, and they are the experts. And at the end of the day, sure, you can save $1 here or there trying to do everything on your own, but the expense of your time, right? You could be like Sarah Blakely from Spanx. She didn't want to put the money into the patent, so she went to the library instead, I believe, if I recall correctly, and she learned how to write her own patent. She wrote her own claims, did all of that, and she had an attorney just file it for her. So I think she ended up paying like $500 basically just to get the filing fee taken care of, and the rest of the patent she did herself versus paying $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, however much it could be for your idea. I am not sure still how I want to do these weekly videos. I may end up even picking a certain niche and really staying focused on something like mindset mastery or morning routines or whatever it is, because I love the whole, be all over the place type thing. But at the end of the day, I feel like my audience would be a little more scattered than if I stay focused on a certain thing. So you guys let me know what you think, please. If you are listening to this, if you're a fan of anything that I do, I'd love to know what it is that you want to see, how frequently you want to see it. Is this okay in my office? Do you want to see another setting? Do you want me to be like outdoors and walking around? I don't know. I'm trying to give you the biggest bang for your buck, and your buck being the time that you're putting into watching this video. But I also don't want to spend too much time making these videos unless that you are truly getting something out of them. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah.